Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Oh Shoot. We have a guest on the podcast today, and I'm going to warn you guys beforehand. This is going to be an explicit episode, not because of me, because of
I
my
don't know,
guests.
man. You're known for your explicit takes. You're always cussing.
I was going to say, if anyone's going to be cussing, I'm warning about cussing because of Josh, but that's okay. So, Josh is here. He's in Australia. So, we made a time zone difference work. Josh, say hello, introduce yourself to everyone.
Good morning, America, and everywhere else in the world. Mainly America. But so normally I do the warning. Normally I tell people like, do not listen to this episode with your kids in the car. Otherwise, we're going to teach them some new words. Uh, my name is Josh. I'm a wedding photographer from Adelaide, South Australia, which is in the middle of Australia, but down the bottom. Essentially, nobody comes here. It's like a small town.
Okay.
It's a capital city, but it's a small town. Everybody goes to like Sydney and Melbourne and like maybe Queensland. That's what's all known. Adelaide is just kind of like just down the bottom. We still get
Hmm.
like internet and stuff down here, but nobody else really comes to visit us. So I'm a wedding photographer down here. Been shooting weddings since like 2017. It's when I started taking it seriously. Doing photography since I was in high school, and that was like 2009. But yeah, I was never ever going to be a wedding photographer. I had absolutely no interest in shooting weddings because I thought they were all stuck up pricks in suits, and you had to go to these big white buildings, and like it was all the weddings that you shoot, the really really nice ones. That's what I
Yeah.
thought wedding photography was, and I was like, fuck that, that's absolutely not happening. And then I got volunteered to shoot a wedding. My auntie volunteered me to shoot a wedding for her friends, and it was at a place here in Australia, or in South Australia, called the Flinders Ranges, which is, imagine the Grand Canyon, but heaps smaller. It's just like a
Okay.
really nice place you go to. You go camping out there, and real like outback Australia. And I shot a
Okay.
wedding out there for free on my Canon 80D, which is a kit crop sensor, or which is a crop sensor, very very basic camera with a kit lens. And then I borrowed my auntie's camera, so she also had an 80D, and she had a kit lens as well. So I essentially had two of the exact same camera, but I knew I needed two cameras because that's wedding
Good.
photography, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I did that for free, and it was just super relaxed. It was like people just coming together and actually celebrating love and them. And they did a grounding ceremony, which is like where you take your shoes off and you just like
Oh, yeah.
get your body in the dirt and stuff. Like, I don't word it properly. The spiritual people word it way better than I do. What did I call it last time I explained it? I called it like a foot ceremony or a foot club or something, and it's not that. It's way more spiritual. Uh, but I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Like, I didn't think weddings could kind of be like this. Any wedding I'd been to as a kid, like I'd been to some big Greek weddings, and they were just super big and long and lavish. Uh, and then yeah, I kind of like found my own little niche and did a couple of weddings that were those big, pretty ones, and I wore a white button-up shirt. There's photos of me with a white button-up shirt on,
I'll
and my
believe it when I see
eBay.
it.
It's fucking gross. I can find them somewhere, but and then we've just slowly transitioned, uh, and now we're here. We just shoot like the best weddings in the country all of the
Mhm.
time because we just hang out. We just have a
Good.
great time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally amazing. I love that you have your little niche of, like, these chill, relaxed couples that just vibe with you. Because I think the sweet spot in wedding photography is when you just vibe with your clients, like, and that's what you're doing is you're just having a good time. If you aren't doing that, then that's when you start to get burnt out and kinda miserable, so good for
And
you.
that's so we have that. I was only speaking to somebody because we've literally just finished our season. I finished my last wedding on Saturday. We've now got 2 months off. We're in winter here. And I was talking to someone recently about how it can, like, if you do too many weddings in a row that are shit, like, like even though you get your ideal clients and you vibe with the clients, sometimes the wedding days are just a bit. All right, now if there's a couple listening to this is where you turn your ears off. But as much as we shoot weddings, and every single wedding is different. Every wedding you go to is different. The couples are always different. It's always styled a little bit different. Also, very rarely, every single wedding is exactly the fucking same. You
Yeah.
do the person one getting ready in the morning, then you go to person two, then person two goes to the ceremony. You do a ceremony, then you do family photos, then you do couple photos, then you do reception. It's exactly the same. So
Mhm.
sometimes if you're shooting too many weddings in a row that are kind of like monotonous, it does sort of become a job. Even though the clients are fantastic, you're having a great time, it can become like a job. But then every now and then you'll find a couple that just kind of like resets that. And you go
Yeah.
back to like, fuck, this is exactly why I'm here. This is why we do it. This is so sick. Like, I can't believe this is my actual job. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here drinking beers and having a great time. And it's just easy.
So, tell me about how many weddings you shoot.
So currently I'm shooting about 70 a year. And I travel all around Australia doing that. So I've got a company here in Adelaide. We used to shoot 125 weddings a year just here in Adelaide. So I would shoot 60 to 75 of those. And then my associates would shoot the other ones. Then my brand kind of like we've been doing this well before influencer Instagram went and did its fucking thing. uh, we had very purposefully, and I spoke about this on Summer's podcast as well, but like we very purposefully had 3,500 followers on Instagram and we had no interest in growing that. We wanted to stay exactly around that sort of mark. If you go to Social Blade, you can see our follower graph doesn't move because we don't want to gain any followers because it made us approachable to everybody that came our way. The people that book us aren't booking 15, 20, 25,000 follower photographers. They want someone that can actually like come and hang out with them and have a good time. So yeah, we had like 3,500 followers, but we were still shooting 125 weddings a year with no growth. Nothing was happening. It was all done through word of mouth and Facebook ads. And then yeah, I would shoot like as many of those as I possibly could.
Are you still at that 100 mark for,
Well,
like,
so
total?
when Instagram took over, and then, well, so actually, I say Instagram took over. It was a very calculated event where I was like,
Right.
hey, because I called my shot on December 23, 2023. I put a post on my Facebook account and I was like, hey, you all know that I educate people. Like I'm always happy to bring people on, and I'll always bring any photographer that wanted to learn how to take better photos or become a wedding photographer, come and work with me for free. That's fine. Just come and shadow and I'll teach you. If you like it, sick. Because I benefited out of that. Like if they were good
Right.
and they had the gear, I could fucking hire them and then just use them. So like it was all good for me. So I was always coaching people and letting people in. And then I made a post on December 2023. I remember that date because it's like it's the date that I just called it. And I was like, next year, after Christmas and shit, I'm going all in on education. I'm going all in. We're going posting. We're going to be putting out reels. We're going to be like educating. And then we gained 10,000 followers in February. And then by June or something, we had 100,000. And now, also, shameless plug, if this comes out soon, I'm on 198,900 followers. I just need
Oh,
fucking like
we're
1,100
getting
more.
we'll get you to 200.
Oh, and I'm in a
We
race with
will.
Mike Jeffrey as well. He's my friend here, and like he's
Oh,
always been 50,000 in front of me, like always. And then I closed the gap, and he's been on 199,000 for 3 days, and I was on
yeah.
197. So I'm fucking anyway.
That's the
Hope
most male thing I've ever heard.
just like internal racing. As soon as I hit 200,000, I can relax again. Like I remember when I hit 100,000, I was like, oh, I'm done. I can relax. And then it started creeping up, and I was like, oh, time to turn the tap back on. We're going. We're going. So yeah, when Instagram did its thing, and we started educating and all that, and we started putting more of ourselves out on the internet and built our brand. My personal brand became too strong to send associates under my name. So everything's been
Okay.
running under Joshua Huggett Media. And then my personal brand got too strong that my photographers, it was harder for them to work because people were kind of like expecting Josh energy. And even though we've got like Neil and Jake and Lewis and they're all great and they're all high energy, they're not going to walk in and tell people to get fucked and move around. They're just like heaps nicer than I am as a person. Uh,
Okay.
so we stopped booking weddings. I made a clear gap of like no associate weddings, and then we've recently, as of 3 months ago, launched the Candid Company, where it's essentially just all of those associates, but now they have their own brand. So all of the leads that come through, I'm presuming this is mainly photographers, so I'm just going to talk about business
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
it's essentially a funnel from all of the people that come and inquire with Joshua Huggett Media. Then we can funnel them down to the Candid Company, and then the associates can go and look after them. So we get
Okay.
like 90 to 100 leads a week.
Yeah.
So we kind of filter those through to the Candid Go.
Nice. Okay. So tell me about your organization with all of that, because that's a lot of weddings. That's a lot of inquiries. How do you manage all of that editing wise? Like, just give me the lowdown for anyone that is wanting to grow an associate team.
So now I'm sure that everybody listening to this thinks that they're the best editor in the world. They are the best admin person in the world. Only they can run their business the way that they want to run their business. My job is to tell you that there is always somebody out there that can do it better than you and cheaper. You need to work out what your cost per hour is, like what it is. So if you were to sit down and do something for an hour, if somebody was to hire you for an hour, what's your hourly rate? Mine's like, I don't know, it depends on the fucking day, but like it's pretty high because I value my time. I've only got so much time. I've got 2 kids. I want to spend as much time with my kids as possible. My cost per hour is pretty high, especially when we're a wedding photographer. Like if you're charging $6,500 to go and shoot a wedding, and you're there for 10 hours, your hourly rate is $650 an hour. If you're then going to come back home and edit that gallery for 8 hours, then your cost per hour goes down because you've added an extra 8 hours. So the first thing that I did, I remember I was doing admin. And this is so I started outsourcing. The secret is outsourcing. I'll just fucking cut to the chase. Outsource. Get other people to do the stuff that you don't want to do. I
Yeah.
was working. I was working a full time job. I was a brand new dad. I had like 40 weddings in the calendar, and I was doing all the photo editing and all the video editing because I'm a hybrid shooter. I do both. I was sitting there. I was editing a wedding video, and do you do much video work?
Never.
You probably get the same emails, but like those companies and they reach out like, "Ah, sir, we'll
Oh
fucking
my
edit your
gosh.
videos for
Yeah.
you. I'll do the
Yeah.
first one for free." And I was
Yep.
like, you know what? I was up to my fucking ears in editing. And I was like, you know what? If you're going to do it for free, I'll send you one for free. If I hate it, I've lost nothing. And then like 2 days later, they got that video back to me and it was better than any video I have ever edited in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
like great. So then I used that company. I can't remember what their name was, but I used them for like a year, and then they kind of annoyed me, and I wanted my own. So now I've got a photo editor in where's he from? Bangladesh. His name's Ramon. I've had him for 4 years. He
Wow.
earns more working for me, so I pay him a monthly rate. So rather than per job, I just pay him. I looked up how much a doctor earns in Bangladesh, and I just pay him that amount. So it's like it costs me like $500 a month, and I pay him, and he does all of my photo editing for me for all of my companies. Um, so he earns more than a doctor working for me. He puts everything through Aftershoot as well. So he just puts all of our edits through our Aftershoot profile, and then he just tweaks them. And then I've got Kunj in India. He is my video editor. If you go on Fiverr, you can still find him there. But he lives the fucking best. I've used him for maybe 4.5 years, 5 years
Okay.
now. And like, because I follow him on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And he just like, I remember distinctly, I was shooting a wedding here in Australia. It was like 43 degrees Celsius, which is 100 and something Fahrenheit. And I'm at this like farm with no air conditioning in a shed, sweating. It was hotter outside the venue than it was inside. No, it was cooler outside the venue than it was inside the venue. And I'm sweating. Like I am just wet. They didn't bring me any food because I'm a vegan and they just forgot. So, like, I'm starving and I'm sitting on the floor in the dirt. And then I bring up Instagram and Kunj is on his fucking motorbike with his like he's got a do you know what a swag is? Like
No.
it's like a tent that you can kind of roll. It's like a sleeping bag that you can roll up. It's like a single person sleeping bag. It's fucking great.
Okay.
Very big in Australia. But he's got that on the back of his motorbike with his FPV drone, and he just travels around India and does these like remarkable, like, you know, your caravan trip. Imagine that, but just like all around India. And
Yeah.
that's his job. He just flies around, that rides around and does that, does all these cool trips, and then just edits my videos on the side of the road.
On the side. Okay.
Bastard. He's a real
Honestly,
bastard.
better than me. I cannot edit on the go. It's
He's
horrible.
Okay, guys, we're taking a quick break to talk about my photography resources that are all available to you on CassidyLynnEducation.com. If you like what you're hearing in the podcast, you're going to love my freebies. I have 4 free guides for you to choose from: my finding locations guide, my posing guide, my guide to camera gear, and my resources for photographers free guide. You may already know this, but I have presets as well, and these are 4 of my absolute favorite presets available on my education shop. I have my brand new Satin Summer preset pack, which is soft, subtle, and luxurious, whereas some of my other presets, like my Honey Boba preset, is warm, bold, versatile, and has red undertones. If you want more of a film preset look, definitely check out my Creamy Dreamy preset pack, which is one of my ultimate favorite preset packs. Another resource I love is my email templates, which are only $30. And basically, these templates are super easy to pop into your Honeybook, and it basically has every scenario that you would need to communicate with your clients. There's new inquiry emails, automatic response emails. If you're unavailable, there's an email template for that. And if you get unhappy clients, I've got an email template for that as well. So head on over to CassidyLynnEducation.com/shop, where you can have access to all of my presets, my brushes, my email templates, my free guides, and more. And because I love my Oh Shoot listeners, you can use the discount code OhShoot to get 10% off any of my digital products on CassidyLynnEducation.com/shop. That'll be linked in the description of this episode. Make sure to go check it out. We're jumping into an ad real quick to talk about a longtime sponsor of the podcast. You guys know it, you love it. We're talking about Aftershoot. If you already don't know about Aftershoot, let me enlighten you, because your world is about to be changed. Aftershoot is the fastest photo culling and editing app out there. The best thing about Aftershoot to me is how fast it makes my editing and culling workflow. Basically, what Aftershoot specializes in is automated AI editing, which is tailored to your unique artistic style. So not only can it cull through thousands of images so fast, it knows your editing style and it will edit your photos tailored to your style based on your preset and your editing. So when you open Aftershoot, you will start with culling, and it's going to cull your images quicker with AI assisted culling. Aftershoot can automatically cull your images by detecting unwanted photos, which saves you hours of your time. It'll group similar images, filter unwanted blinks, filter blurry photos. Then once you get done with culling, we head into Aftershoot edits. With only a few clicks, and I actually mean that, it's literally only like 2 or 3 clicks, Aftershoot will edit your photos just like you normally would in your own style. You can set up a personal AI profile in your style, so Aftershoot will know exactly how to edit. There's precision straightening and cropping tools that will automatically crop your photos for you. And if you're ever editing on like an airplane or something, Aftershoot is always available without the need for internet. And honestly, there's nothing worse than getting nickeled and dimed for a program like this, so Aftershoot offers unlimited images and sessions for one flat fee per month. So if you're like me and you edit thousands and thousands of photos at once, it doesn't matter how many photos you edit, you're always going to get charged the same price. And today, for Oh Shoot listeners, you can get 15% off for anyone who buys Aftershoot using the link in the description of this episode. Thank you so much, Aftershoot, for being a proud sponsor of the podcast. And now back to the show.
Yeah. So that, and then I've got an admin lady that does all of my admin, and then we just lean heavy into automation as well. Anything any question that you answer more than once, you can automate, and somebody else can do it for you.
Yeah.
So we have like most people's workflows on Studio Ninja or Honeybook or whatever you use is like 10 things, like lead comes in, shoot wedding, deliver weddings. Mine's like a 57-point process that's all automated emails that lets my couples know exactly what's happening at all times. So if I get an email like literally more than once being like, hey, the hair and makeup artist wants to know what time you want us to finish, I'll schedule it to go out like a month before that person emailed me. So that way they should get that email before the hair and makeup artist asks, so that there's no questions.
Right.
And that way we don't need to do too much admin work, really. For 120 weddings, we're not doing that much admin work because it's all automated. We work, like I said before, every wedding is essentially the same thing. It's a 10-hour day. Boys, girls, ceremony, reception.
So you outsource your photo editing, your video editing, your admin, and your shooting.
Yes.
So what do you do?
Fuck all. Uh, I got to the point, so 2023, I'd gotten to the point that I literally didn't have to do anything. So my workflow now for a wedding day is I wake up in the morning, I shoot the wedding, I then run it through after shoot on the way home so that I've got photos like culled and edited. I'll pick 80 to 100 sneak peek photos, schedule them on Facebook before I go to bed, drag the folder of photos to Dropbox, and then I go to the next wedding.
Okay. That's
But
crazy. And that you like that because you like shooting.
yeah, I just want to shoot. I just want to shoot weddings. That's where
Right.
that's like where the fun is. That's where the energy is. I'm admittedly a terrible editor. I'm not a great editor. I never have been, which is why I was able to find somebody that can do it better than me, and it's cheaper than my hourly rate. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll just get somebody else to do it. But before we started posting reels and stuff, I'd gotten to the point that I literally didn't need to do anything.
Yeah.
There are some weekends that I'm at home with my kids and we're still earning 4, 5, 10 grand.
Mhm.
And it's an entirely automated system where I don't actually need to do anything. And now
Yeah.
the Candid company. So before that, I used to do all the Zoom calls and everything. So I still had to do some work. I had to do Zoom calls and answer a couple of questions and do the rosters. But the Candid company I've got trained up that I don't have to do fucking anything. One of my brides that I shot their wedding, she's coming on and doing all the Zoom calls and she's going to do the rostering. And so she earns a commission on every Zoom call that we book. And then she also earns the rest of her commission after, like when the wedding's completed. So she's doing the only admin work that I needed to do. Then my other admin lady, she does everything else like timelines and she sets up our emails and does all that sort of stuff. Automation does most of the work for us, and then associates go and shoot it, and then they send it to my editing team, and then Carla does the rest. So
Mm-hmm. How did you find like all the people on your team? Do you have like a preferred way of finding people to work for you?
Fiverr is great because it's normally just that person. Like, you know, me, a video editor, puts myself onto Fiverr. So you're actually speaking with that person. My admin person, I use Wedding Workflows, which is run by Rick Liston. He's actually from Australia too.
Oh, cool.
But he has a whole team out in the Philippines that he goes out and trains, and they're all so Wedding Workflows is run. It's all virtual assistants, but it's run as a wedding like business virtual assistant company. So rather than just going and getting a virtual assistant, and they don't, you know, they're just a generic virtual assistant. These guys are trained specifically in weddings and like running a wedding business and
Okay.
making timelines and all that sort of jazz.
Okay. Cool. Okay, love it. I'm sure you've inspired a lot of people listening, including myself, to start to push off some of the things that you don't love to do. I am guilty of just, oh, I'll just do it myself. Like literally I have a vlog to edit right now and I'm like, it's not my favorite to do because it feels so repetitive and redundant. So I will look into it, get back to you.
That I still edit. Reels, every
Oh,
single
really?
reel that you see online. So
Yeah.
now I've gone back to working full time, just not on weddings. I just work full
Yeah.
time on fucking the internet stuff. So any YouTube
Mhm.
videos, podcasts, reels, like 360 reels, I have to edit myself because I haven't found anybody that can do it better than me.
Okay.
The moment I do, it's out of here. I'm done. I
Yeah.
tried hiring somebody for YouTube videos, and they're just not as good. They're
Yeah.
just not it.
That is something that I found that I have a hard time letting go of is like social media. Specifically even like the creation of it. Like it just feels like that's what is so personal. Like that's what connects you to your audience. So if you outsource that, it like literally minimal connection to no connection with your audience. You know, like I
Yeah.
feel like that's my baby because it really is how I stay connected with people.
And it's like it's way harder because it's a personal brand. Like it's Cassidy
Right.
Lynn. Like
Yeah.
that's what people are actually coming for. It's not like so our company Instagram account is run
Yeah.
by Carla, and that's just like It's not going to get any followers. It's not going to go viral. It's not going to have any impact on anybody. But it doesn't need to. It's just showing people's wedding videos. Like and that's the company Instagram is a online portfolio that's ever changing, whereas the personal brand is where you're actually doing your marketing and actually reaching people.
I like that. Taking notes. I'm joking. I'm not actually taking notes, but
Someone will.
yeah, someone's taking notes out there. Okay, let's talk about a few hot takes because you love a hot take.
I love a hot take.
You do, and you're not afraid to say your opinion, and that's why I wanted you on the podcast, because I'm like, Josh is here to tell you guys some truth. So, let's start with styled shoots, since I
easy.
think I know that this is what the title of the episode is going to be. So, give me your hot take on styled shoots.
Styled shoots are a waste of money, and you shouldn't do them.
Okay, there you go.
Nah, I just think in general, I think your money's better spent somewhere else, especially if you're just going to a styled shoot made by a stylist. So if you are a new photographer, if you're just somebody that's just trying to become a wedding photographer and you want to go and learn how to take wedding photos, going to a styled shoot set up by a stylist or set up by a venue isn't going to teach you sweet fuck all. You're not going to learn anything. All you're doing is taking pictures of things that are already set up. You can just fucking go outside and do that. Go take a photo of a tree. Like, it's the same fucking thing. It just looks a bit different. Where styled shoots can become good and you can learn things is going to a styled shoot set up by a photographer with the intention of teaching you how to take better photos. So if you're going to and this is where workshops are fucking heaps better than styled shoots, because a workshop is in its entirety is made to teach you how to use your camera. It's normally run by a photographer or a business person that's there to teach you something about your camera, about the settings, about the environment. Whereas a styled shoot is literally just taking photos of something that already exists. And you can do that anywhere. Like, you can set up a styled shoot in your own house. You could set up a styled shoot with your mates and not spend $1,000, $1,500 to just fucking take photos of something that you didn't even set up. Like, you didn't even learn how to put the details in the right spot.
Right.
Someone's already done that for you. You're literally just taking a photo of something that's already there. Yeah.
I would be interested to know who did the first styled shoot ever, because it's got to be like a trend, right? Like, it can't be like, oh, we've been doing styled shoots since the beginning of time. Like, who did the first styled shoot ever? And I want to know,
styled shoots are like, it's marketing. So, and there's lots, and I've got a whole hour-long podcast that I just made whinging about styled shoots, and I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. But there's a lot of good things that do come from styled shoots. Let's clear that air immediately. Venues, it's great for venues because they can get photos of what their venue looks like. That's great. Venues benefit from it. Celebrants do well from styled shoots because they can get some nice headshots.
Who's a celebrant? What does that mean?
Officiant, is that what you call it?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, like an officiant. In fact, it's essentially a fucking pastor, a priest, but not outside.
Right. Yeah.
The stylists do well because that's actually just marketing materials for them. Where it differs is that photographers, we need to show the work that we can produce under hard conditions. That's not a hard condition. It's why you see so many people like post their wedding photos in the Facebook group and they're like, I hate my photos. Look at the light. Can anybody fix these for me? It's because all of their photographer that they got for $1,500 is just like, has only ever done styled shoots and this was their first ever wedding and they didn't actually know how to work around the sun. Or they're just like, they're trying too many things. It's completely unrelated, but I see so many new photographers trying too many things at their first couple of weddings. Like, you see them turn up and they've got Ray-Ban sunglasses on, they've got a 360 camera on, they're trying to do trends, they're trying to do this, they're trying to get a pet. Like, just focus on taking the fucking pictures. And then when that becomes muscle memory, then you can start adding a whole bunch of other things to your arsenal. Like they come with like a film camera on, and they're trying to do trends, and they bought a printer because they saw somebody printing photos, and then they're trying to like do this trend, and then they're also doing the sunglasses trend, but they're also still trying to learn how to use their flash inside. Like too much. Just chill the fuck out. If you've done
Yeah.
less than 5 weddings,
Mhm.
just calm the fuck down and just focus on taking the pictures, and then you can add stuff to it later. That's not related
Right.
to style shoots, but
No, but yeah, it's valid.
that's my hot
Okay,
take.
so let's say I'm a photographer who shoots weddings, but I don't really like the look of any of the weddings that I am booking. And I want to attend a styled shoot because I feel like the vibe of that will elevate my portfolio to help me not continue to book these weddings that I don't like. Do you think valid, invalid, and why?
So, like, you have to get those, and where the issue is that people are lying about it. Like, they're just like taking photos that look like they're in Italy, and they're like, "Yes, I'm an Italian traveling wedding photographer," and
Yeah.
but you're not. You're from fucking
Right.
Chicago, and you took these. I don't know. Chicago sounds good, but you're from like fucking Ohio, and you've taken some photos at a style shoot that kind of look like Italy, but in
Mhm.
reality, you're not a traveling. You would travel, yeah, that's great. I think we would
Right.
all travel. I think everybody wants to be a traveling wedding photographer until they actually have to do it because it's actually not that much fun.
Mhm.
Um, but like they don't have licensing to work in Italy. There's a whole thing happening over in Italy at the moment where like photographers are being denied access to the country because that you don't have a visa, you don't have your actual working license to be there, and it's taking all these jobs from Italian photographers. Just saw that recently, but like you can build out a portfolio, and but it's just more about being authentic with the couples. Like if there's a reason you're not booking those types of weddings, it's probably because your work isn't there. Your job, our job as a photographer, is to take remarkable photos regardless of the situation that we're put in, so
Mm.
that
Mhm.
every sort of bride, every sort of person that looks towards your work should want to book you. It's not like,
Mhm.
oh, I've only done like cheaper weddings, so now I've only got cheap wedding photos. You should be able to take expensive looking wedding photos wherever the fuck you are. Like we shoot weddings in like crack dens, and we've been to like really rustic old farms, but our job is to make the photos look as good as if we were at a $400,000 wedding venue.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's all in the actual skill of taking photos. But
Right.
if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
fucking, I mean, you can do it. Just don't lie about it. Don't be like, yeah, I took this photos.
Yeah.
I remember when I got hired to shoot, fucking Cassidy and Dave's wedding, and we had like, the florals were amazing, but like you didn't. You just went to a style shoot
Yeah.
and Cassidy was there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not lie about it. I feel like for me, when I was like trying to shift from like those cheaper weddings that like were kind of my beginner weddings into like more of like a little bit fancier weddings, it kind of was like a shift of a mindset, kind of like what you're talking about, where I started to just romanticize what I was doing. And instead of being like, oh my gosh, this barn is so ugly, I started, like you said, being like, okay, how can I make this look good? What can I do? Can we shoot outside? Can we get rid of the cheap florals that you can see and make it plain? Like what can you do to elevate it and like romanticize it a little bit? You
Mm.
know?
And it's just like people, and just recently I did a whole gallery of more editorial style photos. I don't want to. It was a normal wedding that was booked by me for me. They booked me for me, but they wanted some editorial style photos. And we were just at a normal venue that I work at all of the time. So, like, I have the images that I would normally take there. But I was asked to take photos in a completely different style because I really liked them. So that's our job to be able to adapt. So I was able to adapt into that situation and take a different style of photo. So if you're wanting to take another style of photo, but you're stuck in, you want to take photos of B, but you're stuck in A, while you're at the A wedding, just take some B photos and then just slowly change your fucking Instagram grid to
Hmm.
represent, like, even if you take 3 photos that are this new style from that wedding, you've got 3 photos without having to go and pay for a style shoot. Like, you've got those weddings already, like those photos, you've just snuck them into a different gallery. And maybe that
Right.
couple doesn't like those photos, and that's okay. They don't have to like
Right.
every single photo that you take. They can
Mhm.
delete the photo.
Right.
But you've got it for you. Like,
Yeah.
and people, even if you're working with brides or grooms or whatever that, how do you word it, don't look like your ideal clients that you would like to work with. Like, we still post every single couple that I've ever shot on my Instagram. I don't give a fuck
Mm.
what you look like. I don't give a fuck who you sleep with. I don't care what you eat. I will post every single couple on my Instagram because I don't really give a fuck. But there are people that will only post a certain type of people on their Instagram. But if you're working with clients that don't look like what you want your ideal clients to look like, I don't want to go into it too deep, but if you're working with those types of people that you don't really, maybe you only want to work with blondes and they've got brown hair, your job
That's
is to then
crazy.
just dye it themselves or just like use Photoshop. But like, take your photos a bit further back. If you're working with like, I see a lot of people and they're working with like a larger couple and they take photos really, really close and that they really accent like waist up and it's all very, very close. Whereas you can take far more flattering images if you're like a little bit further away and you're able to shoot kind of like up and around. Anyway, you can take, regardless of where you are, you can take photos in the style that will get you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
If you want to fill some of that with a styled shoot, great. If you're only working barn weddings, but you want to be shooting castle weddings, go and shoot a styled shoot. Just don't be a fuckhead about it and lie.
You mentioned earlier, sorry to change the subject, but that you drink beer at weddings. Yeah. Okay.
Constantly.
So constantly, IV drip.
Yeah.
So tell me about that because I know a lot of people are scared to drink at weddings. So that feels like another hot take that you have.
I think I say this a lot. I feel like I say this in every podcast, but America just needs to calm the fuck down. Just loosen up. Like, just in general, just calm the fuck down. Like, you get one life. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow. What's the point in being so uptight about fucking everything? If you go to a wedding, and this is where American mindsets need to change in general, because like couples are being like, oh my God, I would never let my photographer drink at the wedding. But like in Australia and the UK and fucking Ireland, and I'm going to Scotland next year, they're like, oh no, we'll be feeding you alcohol for the whole day. It's literally just America that's like, oh no, I would never. That does not slay. That is not.
Yeah, I've shot at venues that literally will blacklist you if you drink. Like it's in like you have to sign like a code of conduct before you show up. And I do think some venues do that because they have just a really bad like they got screwed one time by someone that took advantage and they're just like, we're never doing that again. But it's like sometimes literally you sign something that says you can't. And it's like, what do you do? Or like, a lot.
I shot a wedding recently and they sent me one of those forms saying vendors can't drink. And I photoshopped it and I put a void sticker over that section. And I said, I always drink with all of my couples. We always share a congratulatory drink. And I sent it back to them. Nothing.
Oh, right. Because like, yeah, they can't force you to sign anything.
Yeah, I sent void over that section. Like, I'll sign the other stuff. Like, yeah, I'm not going to go and shoot your cows or whatever. But like, I'm having a fucking pint. Like, leave me alone. And then my couples will always advocate for me as well. So like there's another venue here and they were like, no vendors are allowed to drink here. We got screwed one time, just like you said, no vendors allowed to drink. And then my couple, my groom went up and was like, well, that's a shame because he's a guest now and he's allowed to drink or we're leaving and we'll be leaving a review. And they were like, oh, well, it's just company policy. And he was like, well, I hired the company. So now it's my policy. And he's actually allowed to have a drink. And it's not now. I think we need to clarify that we're not like, rolling out of the venue at the end of the night. Like I drive myself to every single wedding and I drive myself home from every single wedding. I'm always under the legal limit, but there's a big difference between like being able to hang out with your couple and the guests. And if the guests see you with like a glass of red wine in your hand, they're immediately more relaxed around you because they're just like, oh, he's actually like relaxing and having fun. Like literally from the moment we walk into the getting ready, someone's offering us a drink. Like, oh, you want a glass of champagne? Oh, do you want a beer? Oh, do you want to have this? The other day, Saturday, it was a Greek tradition, a Greek Orthodox tradition. We all did a shot on the way into the ceremony. So I've like got my camera bag and all my cameras in hand, and they're pouring a shot into your mouth as you walk in because it's part of the tradition. I just think that like Americans would have more fun if they just let more people drink. Just
It really is like it's something about like people just don't do it. Like I'm trying to think of like there have been times where like it's normal to ask your couple or a couple will like say something, I feel like, but you kind of just assume no unless told otherwise.
yeah,
That's
so we
just what
have the
I
opposite.
assume. You assume
We just
yes
assume we're
unless told
drinking
no.
unless we're told no. There's like a couple of venues that don't let vendors drink, and I tell my couples that I'm not going there because I'm like, I'm
Right.
like 9 hours into my shift. I want to be here. Like, tastes good.
Right. It is really a hot take, I have to say, because I think it might just be like a difference between I don't even know what the difference is. It's just people like weddings here are just stricter.
Yeah, well, the difference is that America just needs to calm down. Just calm down.
all
Stop
circles
suing
back to
people.
that.
Why do Americans sue people all the fucking time? Nobody
Yeah.
sues anybody over here. Ever.
Good.
But in
Great.
America, they're like, I would never have a drink because if something happened with the photos, then we would get sued.
Mhm.
No. What?
Hmm.
Stop. Calm down. Just
Yeah.
relax. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
that. So there was a big not after shoot, was it vendor table? There was a big post on it, like, and all the American photographers are like, I would never be caught dead drinking at a wedding day. I would never. Like,
Mm.
okay, that's like, I understand if you don't drink, if you're not a drinker, like
Mhm.
you don't like drinking, you don't have to drink at a wedding. But it's just very, very different over here. We like to have fun. We relax. It relaxes the couple. And the good thing about it is like, because we drink with the couple all day, like we'll have a beer during the like the bridal party, like the couple session and that sort of stuff, and we pop a bottle of champagne and they spray it and all that. You're drinking, and this is where like you're kind of like revealing the curtain, but we'll probably have 2 beers on a wedding day, but it takes us a long time to drink it. So our
Right.
couples always think that we've been drinking the whole time because we've always got a drink in our hand. We've always got a beer in our hand. When in reality, I've only had 2 beers and maybe a glass of wine if it's a nice wine. But because we're a part of it, we're always like they've always got a drink in their hands. They're always having drinks. We've always got a drink in our hand. We're just a part of that bridal party. We're having fun. We're all mucking around together. And
Mhm.
they continue to get drunker while we just stay at the constant state of just being sober. But it looks like we're having fun and we're doing shots and all this sort of stuff. Where like we've never once done a shot. We just had one beer in our hand for like an hour. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a part of your branding, I would have to say, because you were talking about how you like want to just hang out with your couples. Like that is part of the branding. Whereas if you're
Hmm.
someone that, I don't know, shoots a super like People magazine wedding, your branding is going to be more maybe luxury professional. I could be wrong though.
But could you not take luxury professional photos and still be part of the bridal party?
Oh, you absolutely can. I don't know why I have this perception of like these super expensive weddings, like the photographers are literally just vendors, right? Like
Hmm.
that is how people view them. I've never shot like a super duper luxury wedding where it's like, oh, it's in People, oh, it's this, is that. So I don't actually know, but that's just the assumption that I have.
I feel like it would be. Like, I feel like that makes sense that
Yeah.
they're treated just as vendors and And that I don't understand why anybody would want to do that. Why would
Yeah.
you ever want to shoot that?
Yeah. There's something like just something about shooting a wedding where like you go into a separate room and they've got like this like vendor meal for you that like everyone else is eating and I'm just like I get it. I am a vendor at the end of the day. That's
Mm.
what I will eat it. That's what I will do. But there's something so special about your couple like being like, "Oh, we ordered you food." Like, "Oh, you're at this table," or like even if you have to sit like off to the side, "Oh, we still got you food. We still got you a meal." Like I'm like, "Oh, that just means so much more to me than like
Yeah.
oh, I'm eating from the vendor buffet that everyone else is eating from, and I'm sitting in the back. I don't know.
Sitting
So
in a
there's
corner.
right. Pros and cons for sure because I do like my quiet time, but
It's just, and I feel like those couples or those weddings in general are the ones that you're more likely to get complaints from because you're just treated it as a vendor. They're not treating you like a real person. They're just kind of looking at you and looking at the product. And that's where you'll be like, that's going to be a price war, those weddings. That's where like it's literally going to come down to dollars and cents and images opposed to like feelings. Feelings, that's weird. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
connection and having
Yeah.
fun. All of our couples, like, I don't know, it's just fucking like it's not a day at work. You're just hanging out. Like we tell our couples in the first Zoom call and we tell them on the pretty sure it's on my website, but we just want to be a part of the bridal party. We want it to be your bridal party and we're there with you. We're hanging out. We're just having a great time. We're never really that far away from the bride and the groom. Like we're far away so that they're still having their wedding day, but like
Yeah.
I want to be so approachable that anybody can come to me with an idea for a photo and we'll take it. Like, hey man, we want to take this photo. Like, yeah, that's such a good idea. Let's go and do it. Like, let's put him on our shoulders or let's go and do something stupid. And that's just because we're always sort of around. Like, as soon as the dance floor starts, I'm on the dance floor. Like, maybe just to the side, like getting photos and kind of looking around to see what's happening. But we're just there. We're just a part of it. The getting ready, we're a part of it. The girls getting ready, we're normally sitting in the group, like with all the girls getting their hair and makeup done, just having a powwow, just like throwing in our little stories and telling stories about other wedding days and telling stories about it's all about building a relationship with your couples in different ways because boys and girls are different, but like so that they kind of see you as a less of a photographer and more of a guest, and then they're able to be their true selves around you rather than every time you lift up your camera their asshole tenses a little bit and they get like a little bit weirder.
Right.
We get the wackiest photos, like fucking the bride. We got one recently, the bride motorboating the bridesmaid, and like that would only get taken at a wedding that we shoot because we're just like a part of it. Like we were just there and they were just so comfortable. Whereas those more editorial, high end luxury, I don't think you'd see any of that. And I think it would be less, there's less room for your creativity and your vision and more about just taking photos of what their vision is opposed to you being able to do what you're hired for.
Yeah. I think the social aspect is something that a lot of photographers, including myself, kind of struggle with a little bit. It's just like because not everyone is a people person as far as like good with conversation. Like I would say Charlie, my husband, is like great with people. I would say me, I'm 50-50 hit or miss sometimes. So I feel like you talking about this, like it's something that I feel like I personally need to work on. And I don't know, it's just hard sometimes. The connection is good though. Like I agree. It's good to start with that connection with your couples 100%. But sometimes for me I'm just a little introvert. I don't know.
So, and this is like where it's hard because I've got like work personality. Like I'll go into work and I have to not turn myself on. That's definitely weird, but I have to like I turn into work, Josh. And then as soon as that wedding's finished,
Yep.
I just go back. Cause like outside of being a wedding photographer and being Josh from Joshua Huggett Media, I just want to sit inside my house and like play video games or play Dungeons and Dragons or play Magic the Gathering with my nerdy mates and not talk to anybody. I go to my wife, prime example is my wife at school drop off is friends with all the other mums. All the mums, the dads, whatever's happening, they've got their own little Gucci gang where they talk and hang out and do whatever. I know that the school bell goes at 3:14 and like 20 seconds. So at 3:13, that's when I walk into the school gate. I look like this. I pick up my daughter and I get the fuck out of there. I'm not talking to anybody. I don't want small talk. I hate small talk. I hate
Yeah.
it.
Interesting.
But a wedding day,
Yeah.
you turn on,
Okay.
you become that person that
Right.
you need to be to do the role.
Yeah.
And then I can
So
turn it off again.
yeah. So you're fake.
Yeah.
Cool. Same.
In fact, it's just like I've just always been able to do it. I don't know how
Yeah.
it kind of, like, because it came from aged care. Like I worked aged care for 11 years before I was a
Okay.
wedding photographer. So my job was when somebody came into the nursing home, they were essentially told, hey, you're going to die here. Like, you're never going home. You've had a fall. You're too old. Then they would send me in, and I would have to be like, hey, welcome to the nursing home. What games do you like to play? So you learn how to, like, I think it's actually, the more I look into it, I think it's actually ADHD masking. You know, where like you're able to mask other people's energy levels and like
Huh.
it's I'm reading into it at the moment. I probably shouldn't be, but
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah. It's
You're
like
like
a
spiraling.
whole thing, but you just kind
Yeah.
of learn to match the energy of the people in the room. Like, and I'm sure you're the same, even though you're more introverted. I'm sure
Mhm.
if you didn't have Charlie there, you would be finding like you don't need to because you've got Charlie, you've got your backup.
Right.
He's there.
Yeah.
And there are days that I'm just not on and I can't turn it on and
Mhm.
I can't turn to Wedding Josh and Lewis or Jake or Tom or Deanna or any one of the people that I bring with me. They just kind of step into that role. Like they know.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that if there's a day that Charlie's sick and you've got to shoot a wedding by yourself, I'm
Yeah.
sure you'd be able to like you would just
Right.
be able to read the energy in the room and
Yeah.
you just kind of match it.
I guess
And
so.
that's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think sometimes I give myself enough credit because especially with girls, I think it's easier to just like pop in, be a girl, be like, hey, how's it going? I think it's the guys that it's always hard.
Yeah, see, I
But
can't do it with the girls. I'm fucking
really?
terrible with the girls. Yeah, like
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
like
Well,
I can be a storyteller and I can tell
mhm.
stories. Uh, but the boy, like I feel uncomfortable around boys just in general. I've always felt more comfortable around girls. Like all my friends in high school were always girls. All my friends like growing up have always been girls. I've worked in mainly female, like aged care is a mainly female industry.
Mhm.
So I was surrounded by females all of the time. I've never been a boy's boy. Like I fucking hate sport. I drive cars, but I don't really know how to fix them. Like
Right.
I don't know. I haven't eaten meat in 15 years. I've never been on a fishing trip. I don't go hunt. Like I don't do any boy stuff. Like I can play video games and I can play Magic the Gathering, but like
Mhm.
other than that, I'm not a boy's boy. So the boys is when I'm really like working. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be that boy's
Right.
boy to bring people on side. Whereas the girls, like I can
Okay.
just sit down and kind of have a conversation. But you'll
Mhm.
see I work with like Deanna, who's one of my female second shooters. And she walks into she's always like really introverted at the boys getting ready and like
Mhm.
inside. And then we get to the girls and she's just like fucking clicking and slaying and sashaying and fuck all of it. And they're just like instantly best friends. And I have to really, really work to bring, because like we've met in person. I'm big, I'm tall, I'm covered in tattoos. I'm not, like you walk into like a petite little girl's getting ready
Yeah.
and then this big fucking like big Aussie in all black walks in.
Yeah.
It's an intimidating thing. So I really work with the girls to bring them on side.
Yeah. I guarantee you. So when we hopped on this call, the first thing you said was, "Hey, Queen, if you did something like that in the bridal suite, I guarantee you would get a much better reaction."
I set myself a goal on the way here. I was like, I wonder how many times I can say slay on this podcast and just put it in natural conversation. And I'm really struggling. I'm
You
really
are. I haven't
struggling.
heard you. Let me see if I can set you up for a couple more because
I'm
we're
just
gonna
like, I
do
want to add a sleigh.
add a
I'm
sleigh.
trying to, I want to like reach your audience because like It's called Oh Shoot. It's the Cassidy Lynn podcast.
Yeah.
It's not really Josh coming in and telling everybody to get fucked. So I was like, I'm going to work on my slays. I'm going to start with a couple of queens.
Yep.
And then we've both got short hair now, both in Bob City.
Right.
That was great.
That was great.
How are you enjoying the Bob? I know you are because you put on Instagram this morning.
Yeah, Bob Summer. Yes, I am. How are you enjoying your buzz cut?
Love it. I always love having a shaved head.
Right.
It's just so much fucking easier because I
Easier.
can literally just leave the house. I would
Right.
spend like $60 a fortnight on fades and skin fades and making my hair look all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then I would just wear a hat on wedding days because the wind would blow it out of position.
Right.
Whereas anytime I can shave my head, I'm happy days. But
Yeah. It's very, I feel like it's on brand for you to have a buzz cut. So
yeah, it's tougher. I look tougher for the boys.
exactly.
The boys getting ready. I haven't eaten, I've been vegan for 15 years, but I'm looking pretty tough with a skinhead. So.
Oh, that's hilarious. So let's do a few quick hot takes. Hot takes slash this or that, if you will,
All right,
just to kind of
done.
wrap up the episode. Okay, what would be a good one? Okay. Photography is 80% vibe, 20% technical skill.
I actually made a point the other day that photography is 5% technical skill and then like 95% actually interacting with people.
Okay.
Because so long as you shoot it like this is something that nobody really talks about because
Mhm.
the only people that will know that you're not shooting wide open are other photographers. They're the fucking clickiest people in the world. So long as you're shooting at like 1.2, 1.4 and you're taking pictures like in reasonably good conditions, your couples are going to like those photos and they'll be like, oh, wow, that's a professional looking photo.
Mhm.
So if you're able to get them into good positions and take nice photos of them just with easy settings, then yeah, it's fucking 95% actual vibe and maybe some accounting.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, next one. AI is killing creativity.
False. AI is helping creatives give them more time to work on being creative. The
Mm.
bulk of the work is like, and if anything, it's making us more creative because AI can come up with concepts that we haven't come up with ourselves. Like
Mhm.
Sam Hurd's, what was his app called? He's got an app or like a
Yeah.
program where you can take a photo of a spot and it'll AI generate how you could take photos in that area and
Yeah.
like it'll import the couples in there. Like just got to kind of lean into it more. Like, and that's what we did with Aftershoot, like 2020. Like when me and Sam Hurd were some of the first people to sign up for Aftershoot, well before they ever looked after me, because it just makes
Mhm.
sense. It gives you so much more time to think about and just be creative in other ways,
Mhm.
rather than killing it.
Yeah. No, I think AI is gonna be similar to like the calculator. One of my friends, Colleen, talks about how like when the calculator was introduced, like people were like, don't use the calculator, don't use the calculator. And then all of a sudden now math is better and like more advanced and everyone's allowed to use a calculator.
Mm.
So not saying it's the same as a calculator, but it's kind of close where it's like if you're not using it, unfortunately, you might get left behind and everyone else is going to use it. And then they're going to, be a step ahead of you because they're using AI to help their creativity. Like, for example, I go into AI or for me, it's like ChatGPT or whatever. And I'm like, hey, I need, I think it was like a real, like, some sort of like series for my reels. It gave me a couple of ideas and I was like, don't really like it. Threw in some other ideas. Ended up with an idea for blind thrifting, an item for a photo shoot and like making that into a series. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I would have thought of that on my own because I kind of just told it, here's what I like to do. Like, here's kind of where my photography goes. And then it was like, here's a great idea for you. I'm like, I don't think I would have been able to do that on my own. Whereas now I'm able to see it and kind of once you get that spark of creativity, then you go and take it wherever you want to go. But it's kind of like that first seed of here's an idea and then you bring it to life,
Yeah. We use it for I've done it to make like 40 podcast episodes for me so that I can sit here and talk. And it's not making the podcast, it's not taking the creative aspect. It's just giving me a skeleton of what we should I could sort of talk about. And then it's my job as the creative to go and actually do the work. I'm
Mhm.
using it as more of like a skeleton to,
Right.
bring it out together, and then bring it out together. That's great fucking wording, Josh. Like using it as a skeleton to kind of like form what a episode should be, and then it's
Yeah.
our job to actually add to it. It's very much the similar, like the people not using a calculator. It's like the transition from film to digital.
Mhm.
Everybody was like, don't use digital cameras. Oh, it ruins film. It's going to take away the natural film look, blah, 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 blah. And then everybody comes to digital because it's actually just better. And then same with AI. Like it's just going to pivot itself away. People like
Mhm.
still using non-mirrorless cameras. Like, oh, why do I need to mirrorless? Use like people fucking like arguing about using the viewfinder like versus using the screen on the back. It's the same
Yeah.
fucking thing. Like, oh no, you have to use this eyepiece. How are you even like making it look good? Like, because I can fucking see the picture on the screen. Like, I can see it. It's there.
I
The
get
same
that
thing with
comment a
AI.
lot. Yeah.
Like, and also, I'm using the fucking screen so that my behind the scenes camera can film me. Otherwise,
Right.
it's just the side of my head. But
No,
like,
literally. You cannot use like Ray-Ban Meta glasses and
no.
use the viewfinder at the same
Did you see
time.
that video? There was a reel that came out. I can't find it. I'll find it and I'll send you the link. Of this girl was like my first day using Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses, and it's
Was
just
it
her
Lily?
I can't remember, maybe bringing a camera up to her
Yeah,
eye the
yeah.
whole time and her hair getting in front of it. That was great. Uh
Honestly, that it's a universal experience. It's a canon event.
yeah. But yeah, it's just like that change. Like you
Yeah.
just got to either go with it or you're going to get left behind, being that grumpy guy on the Facebook comment section that isn't booking any weddings or isn't booking any jobs because their photos look like they did 10 years ago.
Mm. Honestly, I'm gonna leave it on that mic drop. I feel like that was pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
calm down, America,
right.
and
Get
use AI.
loosen up, America.
Oh, I thought you were going to say loosen the fuck up, Cassidy. I thought that was it.
Oh
I think
no.
you should finish the episode on you just saying loosen the fuck up. Just one little cuss word.
Oh gosh, not you peer pressuring me live on the podcast.
You don't have to. I can do it for you. Loosen the fuck up, America.
Thank you.
You'll
Thank
have
you.
more fun in life.
Yeah. So, tell everyone what you have coming up. I know you mentioned you've got a podcast. Kind of do your shameless plug here.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're in Australia, if you happen to be in Australia, we host a workshop every year where it's currently a 3-day event where you come and you learn from some of the biggest influencers in Australia. So we've got myself, we've got Mike Jeffrey, we've got Tash from Dawn Photography, and we've got the wedding painter as well. But we actually pay for real people to get married. Like the ticket sales from the event pay for couples in need to actually get legally married and have a wedding that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. So that then you get to come and shoot a wedding with me and actually get real wedding experience in your portfolio. So
Hmm.
rather than going to a styled shoot and taking photos of something that's already been set up, you can come with me and actually get a real wedding in your portfolio if that is something that you so desire. Other than that, I used to have a series called Tog Talk where I used to interview photographers, and then I got sick of it. And then Instagram bullied me into making it a podcast. So now we're fucking here. That's called Tog Talk. It's on Spotify and shit. But just like come to Instagram. It's fun. We make fun
Yeah.
of Americans. We take wedding photos, and it's great. It's more just like I have a whole story highlight of Americans commenting on my Facebook videos, and
Oh
it's always
yes.
good.
I love when you post those. That's
Yeah.
some top tier content.
Yeah. And they're always like some 60-year-old woman from fucking Kentucky that got married 35 years ago. And she's like, oh, I would never have a wedding photographer that swears at my wedding. I'm great. I don't want to fucking be there.
I love how you know these random states and you're just like Ohio, Chicago, Kentucky,
That's because I always check. I check their comments and I'm like, oh, there it is. They're
Kentucky.
from Kentucky. Oh, Idaho University. Yeah, cool. All right, mate. No worries. You're not going to book me anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'll link your Instagram and stuff in the description for everyone. But Josh, thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Everyone listening, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.